On the docket for today's broadcast, business lending is a heavily unregulated industry here in the United States. It's difficult for businesses to get the funding from standard banks still today, so they go to alternative lending solutions. We're very pleased to have on today's show the founding member of Corporate Capital Direct, Rob Denton, along with Alan Rodgers, an actual client of his, to talk about the pitfalls he experienced and what to look for when it comes to a competent lender. Alan, your company is Colton Electric. And Colton Electric is a company that does very large projects. To get a better understanding of what you do and who you are, explain to our audience what Colton Electric is and the projects you've worked on.
Well, Colton is a commercial and industrial design build contractor. We have experience in both the federal government and commercial sector.
But when you get a contract, let's say the contract is $5 million, that means you need capitalization to help mobilize. I guess to explain to our audience how you actually met and worked with Rob.
Yeah, I've worked with Rob in the past. It was a great relationship. In fact, that's what I would call it, as a relationship. It was formed originally when I had some new projects starting up, and we're in need of some startup capital, like you said, for mobilization. And usually takes about 2 to 3 months after we've started a project and actually have labor and material on the project before we actually receive any kind of income. So we've got a great relationship, Rob. He's been a big help to my company.
Explain to our audience what you ran up against before Rob.
Well, as a contractor, we get barraged by this industry, the third party or lender, if you will. And we get phone calls, emails, and the emails and phone calls are generally sales guys. You can hear it in the background. There are a group of 50 people in a room all trying to do the same pitch. And they tell you you're pre-qualified for hundreds of thousands of dollars at a very low interest rate. And then when you start to get into this determining what your pre-qualification really is, it's not. It's a very misleading ploy, and not had any success with anyone that has stuck to their word of the initial offer, that the final offer is exactly as it was on the initial, with the exception of Rob. And his company has, when we first came to him, one of the ladies in his office contacted me, and she says, hang on, let me let you talk to the owner of the company. Well, right then I knew this was different, because I'd never gotten that type of result when I showed an interest in this type of financing. And he really helped us out on the beginning of some pretty big projects for us at that time. He's been able to provide us, what our needs are, which is very important, and then even give us, a much better rate with a short-term payoff. So that gets us through that first 3 months, potentially, of the cost outlay on a new project. If I had a guy who told me that they were going to give us the money, I accepted the contract, signed the contract, started the work, and then I'm into it for $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, knowing that I'm not going to get paid for 2 months. That could be a pretty devastating situation to the company.
Well, interesting enough, banks and other alternative lenders, they only have 2, 3, 4 programs. Rob, how many programs do you have?
North of 12 or 13,
right.
And some are asset-based, some are unsecured. And at the core of what we do, we're cash flow specialists. We have different solutions.
Rob is a consultant that looks out for my interest. I can tell him everything that's on the table, and then he'll guide me in the right direction of what I should or shouldn't do.
That's a beautiful thing, in today's age. Alan, we appreciate you taking time. We know that you're very busy, and we'll follow up with you as time goes on to see how it goes.
Sounds great.
Appreciate you coming on. Rob, Corporate Capital Direct. Wow.
We have clients who like to come in and meet us, and we
Yeah.
also do business online nationally.
Right. That too, and you even go out to meet with clients if available.
Absolutely.
But you're very, very hands-on. The purpose of this whole segment was to have people understand that you need a consultant. You don't need a lender. And when you get a consultant that has access to capital like Rob with over 13 programs, not one size fits all, you're going to have somebody who will give you the options that you need and the truth that you rely upon. And that is an endorsement from me to you, because I've sent you people and you've done very good by them. And, that's the proof in the pudding. We could talk all day long, but certainly you are one of the best out there, and I mean that.